Hi, welcome to today's video diary for Finding My Way with Pi, Purpose, Intention, and Emotion. I am Pi. I wanted to talk about the importance and the gift of silence. So I'm thinking about this because during the course that I'm taking right now as part of my master's program, Master of Arts in Happiness Studies, what we're doing is revisiting prior material and creating what we are calling a Spire retreat for ourselves, going back and learning at a deeper level of knowledge some of the materials that we had learned and how that applies to spiritual, physical, intellectual, relational, and emotional well-being, and the small interventions that we can do on a day-to-day basis, and like small rituals, if you will. They don't take a lot of time, but they have a big impact for our well-being in those areas, focusing, of course, on where each of us individually need to focus. Now, I had a regimented, disciplined self-care and let's call it just daily rituals for my well-being in those 5 areas of whole person well-being: spiritual, physical, intellectual, relational, and emotional. And I was feeling great and things were moving along. This course started, and right at the same time, we got a puppy. So talk about disruption in my daily pattern. Speaking of puppy, here she is. Here is Cricket. This is the sweet little Cricket. Yes, she's a sweet girl. She has disrupted our rituals and our patterns. She has also added so much to our lives and changed so much. So in thinking about, what I've been focusing on as part of this retreat, part of the coursework of revisiting things we had learned and implementing new things, and also something that we appreciate about ourselves. So I had to think about something I appreciate about myself, which, by the way, is really difficult because I think it's easier to appreciate others than it is ourselves, and a lot of people experience the same thing. So here we go. I'm going to start with what I appreciate about myself. I appreciate my ability to heal. In reviewing all of the materials from the prior course that we were looking at and revisiting, what I noticed was a theme across all of them. And I'm talking about, there's things like journaling exercises and relationships and differentiation in relationships, and gosh, the list goes on and on. I need to pull it up, what all we talked about here. Hang on, almost there, because I want to process this and have it acknowledged. So journaling, studying great works, the great works of literature, self-analysis, differentiation in relationships, self-love, letting emotions flow. It's like this super download of new perspectives and ways of thinking about yourself and shaping yourself and understanding yourself in relation to others and to the world. And it, for me, really facilitated that healing journey back when we took this course originally, and now during our Spire retreat course, going back and learning some of these materials at a deeper level, as well as implementing, doing the me search, trying new little things in our day-to-day rituals and seeing how we feel. So the thing that I chose, maybe not necessarily intentionally, I got a puppy intentionally, but I didn't choose this aspect of my Spire retreat intentionally. It just came to me and I accepted it, just accepting what is. It is to be flexible, to allow healing and acceptance. What I mean is, I have not been able to stick to my disciplined rituals that I had before. And so being flexible has been what I've been focusing on. And then how to still reach my goals while being flexible and moving with the ebb and flow of the day-to-day life with a puppy, which disrupts routines. As we work to adjust her to our routines, we have to be flexible in that. I could be like, I'm going to sit down and write 30 minutes of poetry. And Puppy's like, I have other ideas. I'm going to go poop on the floor. Okay, well, didn't happen right when I meant for the poetry to happen. So we're going to have to adjust, right? So things like that. So the other thing I've been focusing on and inviting in, and one of the things that Puppy helps me do is be here now and be present. But specifically, I want to talk about the importance of silence. Silence is something I think many people are uncomfortable with these days. And I was in that boat too for a long time. But I have found I have needed silence since getting a puppy more, because I'm getting less sleep. I'm having to be more flexible. There are things that could spark my frustration and irritation because it's challenging to get anything done and routines have been flipped on their heads, that I find I need that silence for the stillness and the calming, as well as to continue to remain to be open and expansive and, just learning what I can and being in the moment and accepting what is, to observe. And so some ways that I've done this is, I don't turn on music or podcasts or anything in the car. I keep it off. I keep noise off in the car. And I'm finding that, yes, my thoughts will start to wander. But if I can direct my thoughts into, what am I observing right now? I'm noticing things I've probably driven past hundreds of times that I've never seen before. I am noticing the quality of my breathing, and I'm able to deepen my breath, make sure I'm breathing through my nose, which is in and of itself an intervention for reducing stress. I am noticing, what the quality of my thoughts. Where are my thoughts right now? Are they negative? Are they positive? What can I focus on? Sometimes I'll repeat a mantra to myself. And then I'm also doing that in moments like when Puppy falls asleep. I could quickly, cram in work and things I need to get done. And instead what I do is I stop and breathe. And I close my eyes and I breathe deeply for like 6 minutes. And go inside and focus on that part inside of me that it just is, right? You feel the sensations of your body. You feel, noise. There's all these things you can sense with your 5 senses, but there's another thing in there that's just this consciousness, this awareness. And I find myself trying to focus on that feeling and just kind of settle into that. And in that way, I feel a better ability to accept what is and what's coming at me and to let go of expectations and to just trust the unfolding of how things are working right now. I am able to observe and say that this time right now that's feels disruptive with Puppy is actually really temporary. And each day she's learning more and becoming more and more a part of a rhythm of our house. She sat in my lap for nearly 2 hours this morning while I had my lecture in my course, and now I'm doing the daily video diary and she's just hanging out, chewing on her toy. Life adapts. Life has a way of settling. And we forget this because we're always trying to force life to adapt to us and bend to us. And I lived that for so long. It's a really challenging place to find that still taking action and being and existing and living in the world, and also allowing things to just happen without force. It's a very delicate balance. It takes practice and conscious mindfulness day to day. And where I find I can continue to come back to that, because it's the practice of coming back to it. I won't be in that state of existence steady all the time. Rather, it's a practice of coming back to it. And I find my gateway for coming back to it is in the moments of silence. And then one last thing I'll talk about, and I think I started to talk about time poverty a little bit in a previous video diary, but I do want to add on this thought to the thought of time poverty. When I take these moments of silence, I'm becoming more aware of, the busyness feeling is really a thought. I'm here right now in this moment, but if my mind is busy chasing the next one, I'm not really here, am I? And therefore, I don't feel like I have time. And this is true of anything. Looking at my phone, my to-do list, only seeing all the things I'm not getting done when there are distractions or puppy needs care. All of those thoughts, all of those things are examples of how I allow my time to be stolen from me. I give it away and therefore feel like I don't have enough time. Whereas in the silence, in those moments of silence, even though I'm taking time, it's actually giving me time because I'm realizing that in each moment, we have a choice of where we spend our time, and when we reconnect with ourselves and we settle into the present moment and truly feel our aliveness and what's here right now and accept it and experience it. This concept of I don't have enough time goes away. That's this construct, that's this hustle culture. And it's a thought. It's not actually what's true. It's what I'm projecting onto myself and onto my reality. But when I sit and I just be, then I can experience what truly is and settle into that. And it's way less anxiety. It's way less frustration. It's, in fact, those things kind of dissolve and dissipate and disappear. So then I realize where I choose to spend what I choose to do with my thoughts, what I allow my thoughts to do, really has an impact on how much time I feel like I have in a day, and how I think about the time I've had and the time I've spent and what I've done also has an impact on how I feel about the amount of time I have in a day. So instead of focusing on all the things I didn't do, focusing on the gratitude of the experiences that I did get to have. Like puppy chewing on my finger right now while I'm talking. And this is transitory and it will pass, because when I'm done with this video, we'll go in the other room, we'll take a potty break, we'll maybe do a little bit of training, and then we'll see what the day holds for us, right? Yes. But in this moment right now, I see you and I'm experiencing you and I'm appreciating the time. Thank you for being with me on this journey. I'm so glad that you're here and I hope it helps you too. I'll see you tomorrow.